Hey guys, Eric from mobilemusthave.com, and today I have some exciting news. We have been working with Blu for a little bit and talking through whether or not a 10-inch water filtration system would be of interest to customers. It's not for everybody, but it's pretty darn cool, and it comes in at a very, very low weight. So it's definitely a true Blu product. Come along with us and I'll tell you all about it. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. And this right here is the ARX series. You may have not seen this as much on mobilemusthave.com. We focused pretty heavily on the MR series, which was the full stainless series. But we'll talk about this anodized aluminum version that is kind of where Blu is going in the future, and you're going to start to see more and more of it at mobilemusthave.com. This one right here is the ARX XLT, kind of like XL. Because it is bigger. And this is the first filtration technology that Blu has taken on that brings in a 10-inch filtration technology filter. So we're talking about the same level of water filtration technology that you experience in the 5-inch filter systems, just brought up to the 10-inch in height. For those that don't know, when you talk about 5-inch or 10-inch, we're talking about the height. The diameters of these filters are the same, and they're basically a 2.5-inch diameter filter. So none of that changes. So bigger's better, right? I need bigger filters, that's better. Well, Blu really has kind of blown up and exploded in the RV market because anyone who has a big water filter knows it's heavy and annoying and a pain in the butt to change. And we don't necessarily use as much water in the RV systems as would be kind of beneficial for a big filter like this. So the vast majority of RVers really are going to actually be better served by a 5-inch filter. By the time that filter gets used for, a period of 3 to 6 months, stuff like bacteria can actually start to grow on the filters due to lack of use, and it's a good idea to change out your filters anyway. So for the average RVer that's sort of just using what we would consider average water use in an RV, the 5-inch filter is actually better. But if you're a heavy water user, this can benefit you. You can kind of get a bit more gallons overall out of your filtration in a system like this. It's not going to create like a groundbreakingly larger amount of flow. The 0.2 micron, it's kind of like a sheet of filtration material, and the water's got to pass through it. So it's not going to like create a much faster pass through, but you will get a little bit of filtration improvement. I think with a 3/4-inch garden hose, you could see about 5.5 gallons per minute on average out of this system versus kind of like 4.5 or so out of a 5-inch. So you could get a little bit better on the pressure side, especially with larger hoses, but it's really going to come down to your water use and how many gallons per week or per month you're really putting through this system to determine if you want to go with the XLT. We'll have more on the nitty-gritty about that stuff on our listing page, but we want to spend a little bit of time just talking to you about what's included with the ARX and some of its specifications. Kind of to start, one of the big amazing things that I talked to Corbin and Blu about when he was designing this was our experience with some of the competitive products that use stamped steel and how heavy they were. The kind of like top competitive product that we see, and you can look at the listing page to look at comparative pictures, is around 28, 29 pounds for that device. It's heavy. And when you're trying to like lift it up into a storage bay or something, and you do that every single week or every single day, depending on how much you travel, it kind of adds up and it can kind of tweak you out. So one of my big things was I was like, Corbin, I want this thing to be light. And that's a big part of why we see anodized aluminum here, which is much lighter, but also we're maintaining the stainless steel where the water is really, touching what you drink or what you're close to. So we still have our stainless steel filtration canisters. We still have our awesome quick connect system. So this is fully integrated if you have any existing Blu technology, but we are adding anodized aluminum. And the result is we're talking like, I think it's 11.8 pounds. Check the specifications, but it's under 12 pounds. So it's less than half, like a lot less than half of the weight of the competition. It's also small. If I look at just the housing here, it's coming in at just under 15 inches, about 14 and 3/4 by a smidge over 13, probably 13 1/4 if I'm giving a little bit of wiggle room there. And width-wise, about 6.5 inches. So I know it's sitting right in front of me on the camera, so it looks big, but in terms of a big, full-size 10-inch water filtration system, this thing is coming in pretty compact, and I like what I'm seeing. Moving on to some of the other accessories, we've got this handy bag here. This is machine washable, and it can be used. You can use the filter with the bag on, which is pretty cool. So there's little ports right here that you can unzip to allow the hoses to come in and out. And then up here at the top, you've got a little removable foam insulating and padding pouch at the top here, which can be really nice. This bag actually can help if you're like getting really kind of close to freezing or just right at the freezing point, to insulate your water system to keep it from freezing. We always recommend, folks, it's pretty simple to disconnect your filters and bring them inside if you're going to have a frost or freeze event. So don't risk it, because that's not covered under warranty. But the bag does provide some insulation, so that's a nice touch. It's got these little mole, I think that's how you say it, loops on the front, kind of like a military style loop, so you can attach things to it. And then this Velcro patch, I was like, what do we, I'm not gonna like put my like American flag patch here, or so. I mean, I guess you could. But what I thought about was, if you get Velcro strapping, you can actually like stick your hoses to this, and it can create a really nice kind of compact thing to kind of put everything away, or your accessories. So it actually did make a little bit more sense. And then you've got this nice handy pocket in the front as well, where you can add additional hoses and whatnot to give you kind of just a handy single place to put everything. Again, it's machine washable. If you leave this thing out in the rain, it can get a little grimy. It's cotton and polyester, but I just throw it in the wash and it comes back pretty nicely. Moving on to other accessories, you obviously get your filter wrench. This is how you remove the filters, and there's notches all around here where you can get attached to those filters, and then you can remove them. Remember, when you're looking down at something, it's going to be reversed. We've had a lot of folks sitting there looking down, wrenching, going, I'm going right. It's like, no, you're actually going left because it's upside down. So just keep that in mind. I oftentimes will actually put my bag down and then put my filtration system on it like this, and actually start and hand loosen my filters this way, just so that I know the orientation and the direction. Moving on to filters, you're going to get 3 filters. The Longevity, the 0.2 micron, and the Tasty, all pre-installed. We had them color-coded, so you kind of had different colors for different filters. We were trying to simplify stuff, but that's actually created some issues at the manufacturing plant. So we said, you know what, let's just get back to whites, and we'll label them. So we'll make sure that the labels are on the front of them. And they also are physically distinct and look a bit different. I've actually got them lined up here in the correct order of where the water flows. So this is your Longevity. You can always kind of tell a Longevity filter because it's got these ridges and it really doesn't have any caps on it. It's basically like feels like a piece of rolled up cotton paper almost. It doesn't have a lot of tech to it, because really what it is like a giant filtration sponge for like big sand and stuff. Then you go to your 0.2 micron, which you see here. You can kind of see these like horizontal cuts through it. That's kind of a telltale nature. And then it's got a very broad silicone seal here to make sure it gets really strong contact to the filtration housing. And then last, with these kind of rounded tops, because this canister is full of carbon, you see your Tasty filter, and this is for taste. And those are all included. If you're on the fence, you're not sure, should I go with the 5-inch or the 10-inch? For the vast majority of folks that are, RVing with 2 people, I would say go with the 5-inch. If you've got a large family, if you're like Andy from our team, he'll probably migrate to the 10-inch. It'll get him some more filtration life. He won't have to change out the filters as much with his family of 5 now in that RV, plus the dog and a cat. So there's a lot of stuff going on in there. A lot of people drinking water. So he'll probably go with this model. If you want to get really down into the technical stuff, we actually now have this, which is a new, really cool accessory from Blu, and it's a digital water meter, and it's going to actually manage the flow of water and give you a readout of how much water has passed through that hose into your RV system. So technically you could pick one of those up first if you're on the fence and monitor your water filtration and then decide which of these systems you'd want to go with after. Just keep in mind that that's a quick connect system, so you're going to need the associated hoses that connect up with quick connects if you want to use that that water meter. But it's a really cool accessory that's also available and works with all of the Blu Tech line. As always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me and our team. You can hop over on email and go to info@mobilemusthave.com. You can hop over to Mobile Must Have, our website, and just click on the bottom right-hand corner and start up a chat with our team. Or you can schedule a call with us at talk.mobilemusthave.com. Our phone number is also on our website if you just want to give us a ring. But if you don't want hold times and you just want to talk to somebody without having to sit around, those callbacks are really effective because you just set a time that works for both of you. It'll send you a calendar reminder, and then you, boom, they call you right then and hop on the phone and get all your questions answered. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the road.